Blackstone resonators spin and hum, energy crackling around them. The last of the defenders' guns fall silent. The chamber is suffused with an amethyst light, casting dark shadows against the chamber walls. The resonator's hum builds to a roar, and you are brought to your knees, racked with agony. Then the ruin of Precipice flickers out of existence, leaving a great void beneath the rusted deck on which you stand. The resonator slow and falls silent. The only sound that remains is the unending turmoil of the fortress's shifting chambers. You glance at each other. Some of you tend to your wounds. Others warily check their smoke-blackened weapons. You have triumphed, though the victory already seems hollow. Were the denizens of Precipice safe? You will likely never know whether your comrades have survived the perilous passage. That's part of the ending of Blackstone Fortress Ascension. Now, I love that ending. There's more to it. I didn't spoil it all, but in case you haven't completed Blackstone Fortress and you do want to know the rest of it or what happens, continue on. So Obsidious takes the survivors. He takes, I think, 4 of them. They become part of the Blackstone Fortress and he takes them and they go on to live forever, I guess, within the Blackstone Fortress. I don't know what happens to them. That's as you know, it's as frustrating as it is amazing storytelling, but I guess it doesn't really matter. What's interesting is that a lot of the characters remain. A lot of the characters would remain. I guess you could say there are 4 of them that made it through into the Blackstone Fortress. Perhaps you can roll up, randomly determine 4 of the characters you can't use anymore, and the rest you could use here and there. It would be like kind of like special characters in Necromunda or Age of Sigmar, I suppose. There's no reason why you can't take it, and it's part of the story still. So I like the idea of being able to use some of the original characters in your warband. Not permanently, because I imagine they have their own things they want to take care of. Story-wise, I think that's a cool idea. They have very good experience with the Blackstone Fortress and they would be needed elsewhere. But I guess these characters are a little bit beefier than your starting long shot character. I have been pretty busy this week. I haven't been able to make a video, and this is the first moment I've had to just chill and go through my notes. I have been creating a lot of cards, and I've been painting my Dominion models too. I've got some really good ideas for it. But it's still coming along, and I'm really excited to show you what I have. And so one thing I have decided is I'll be using Space Hulk tiles to do some of the adventures when you're scavenging for parts within the Hulks that are within the Blackstone Fortress. These will be small because most of them are chewed up and just ruined by the Blackstone. So the idea is that you go in quick and this thing is unstable and falling apart, but you're looking for parts. So I have to do some research on parts of spaceships. I know there's a Geller field device. I know that's one part of a spaceship. So I need maybe like 4, or I could just use clue cards. You go in and you randomly determine a discovery deck, and within it, whether you get a clue or not, it's up to you. The other idea I had is you could create these parts by collecting materials or parts of the parts. So you can give them to the engineers or the mechanics, and with these parts, they can actually create what they need instead of finding the part itself. It's just another option you have in the game. Another thing is you can find different hulks or spaceships within the Blackstone Fortress. You determine how deep you go. You determine how much of the hulk you discover, and as you progress, the more dangerous it becomes. So you have to decide. I go in, let's say, like the first 3 tiles are easy peasy. Fourth tile becomes becoming a little more difficult, and then it's a little, it might be too much, but it depends how long you want to look for clue cards or scavenge parts. I think I might use clue cards. I think it's a better idea. The idea is you go through Blackstone Fortress combat cards, and within that combat card you will enter a Space Hulk. I don't know if that'll be too long. I kind of prefer my games to be short and sweet, that rather than long and a grind. Something you still have to decide. But apart from that, I've been reading your comments, and we're on the same wavelength here in regards to those things. I like the idea of mixed race teams and just singular race teams, like an orc. For example, an orc expedition of long shot characters would be amazing. I love the idea. That's so, these guys are sticking together. Same with, for example, Dark Eldar or Drukhari and other races that would specifically stick together. Maybe even a tyranny team. They're trying to find a hive spaceship. I'm not really sure what they're called, or some sort of transport. They know how to get out there in their own way, or maybe they're looking for a place to nest and take over. We'll see. There's a lot of races to go through, so I'm just starting out with the basic ones. In regards to enemies and hostiles, I was watching a lore video on the Halo stars, which is a part of the Milky Way galaxy, and there's things like the Halo devices, which are really sought out for. Basically, it's a region that's kind of cursed or haunted in a way. There's alien entities there that aren't really understood yet, but they are worth a bit of money. Like the Halo device kind of gives a human powers. It makes them stronger in mind, body, but the trade-off is that after a few years, you start turning into this like ghoul thing, and I found that pretty interesting. I found, maybe that's something we can play around with. But obviously, we would have to shift the Blackstone Fortress into that area of the galaxy. But, it still kind of works with the story that I have, because the Blackstone Fortress goes to a place where there's a massive, massive graveyard of spaceships and all Space Hulks. And the Halo Stars is a place where a lot of ships have tried to enter and become lost. So you can imagine a lot of spaceships and Space Hulks just full of these random evil-looking creatures. So it works, and what I listened to, the whole Halo Stars lore story was horrific. I liked the idea. It's something that could work. And I would still have the Blackstone Fortress travel in time, so I'd really want to deal with Iron Men and Men of Stone stories as well. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. I will have a battle report coming up soon. I'm not sure I can make trailers anymore. I'm not sure if that counts as breaching Games Workshop IP laws. Obviously, I don't want to do that. These are just fun videos that I make. But we'll see. But in the meantime, please comment, like, and join us on Instagram, guys. Hope you're all taking care of yourselves, guys. It's a crazy world out there, but let's keep our heads high, huh? See yous.